Before The Fugitive became one of the most perfectly paced thrillers in cinematic history. Before two words, "I don't care," stopped audiences cold. This was chaos. An unfinished script, actors rewriting lines on the spot, stunts that could have killed, real injuries, real danger, and moments no one could predict. This is the untold story behind a legend. Let's dive in. During filming, Tommy Lee Jones turned to co-star Joe Pantoliano and said, "It's not like anyone's going to win any awards for this film." He thought it was just another forgettable action thriller. The irony? The film earned 7 Academy Award nominations, 3 Golden Globes, and Jones himself won both the Oscar and Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actor. Imagine being so spectacularly wrong about your own performance that it becomes legendary Hollywood lore.
The Oscar goes to Tommy Lee Jones in The Fugitive.
The unforgettable "I don't care" line was not in the original script. Gerard's scripted line was "That isn't my problem," which Jones felt was weak and lifeless. He rewrote it himself, and those 2 words captured Gerard's cold, ruthless, by-the-book mentality perfectly. A simple actor's instinct transformed an ordinary line into one of cinema's most iconic moments.
"I didn't kill my wife! I don't care!"
During the forced chase scenes, Ford tore ligaments in his leg. Surgery would have prevented permanent damage, but Ford refused until filming was done. Why? To make Kimble's limp authentic. That painful hobble you see isn't acting, it's genuine injury. Ford risked months of recovery to maintain his character's realism, a level of commitment bordering on self-destruction. The electrifying parade chase wasn't in the original screenplay. Director Andrew Davis got permission the morning of to film during Chicago's real St. Patrick's Day parade. Ford and Jones were thrown into the crowd with handheld cameras, 0 rehearsal, pure improvisation, while camera operators scrambled to figure out how to capture everything. Ford blended in so well that parade-goers didn't recognize him for minutes. The scene's chaotic authenticity is pure Hollywood luck.
I just inserted myself in the middle of the parade, and we grabbed some free shots, and it was a pretty interesting way to work. And actually, that because I had black hair and I looked a little different, I wasn't really recognized for a little while.
The locomotive was supposed to hit the prison bus at 35 miles per hour, but it struck at 42 miles per hour. One miscalculation could have caused catastrophic injury or property damage, yet the crash worked perfectly. No CGI, no miniatures, just raw risk and precise timing. It's a high-stakes stunt few production teams today would even attempt.
This engine and the rest of the cars that go with it are derailing about 150 yards down there.
Moore filmed a complete romantic subplot where Kimble falls for her while pursuing his wife's killer. Then someone realized the optics were terrible, a grieving husband falling for another woman. Every scene was cut. Moore's name remained in the credits, her role as a ghostly presence. The deleted romance reminds us that even major stars can vanish from Final Cut entirely.
How's the boy doing?
You saved his life.
In the Chicago police interrogation, Ford didn't know the questions in advance. He was blindsided, forced to react in real time. The fear, confusion, and panic you see in his performance are authentic. Method acting through surprise, a tension no scripted scene could replicate.
I know.
Now, Doc, and his fight with this guy with the one arm, did it happen upstairs or downstairs?
Upstairs.
And he had, which was the right or left arm? Had that little gimmick on it.
Right arm.
Was it one of those with the hooks, or?
No, he had a cosmetic hand.
Jones refused to film the courthouse shooting scene, believed Gerard would never endanger civilians in a crowded building. Screenwriter Jeb Stewart confronted him with the uncomfortable truth. Just minutes earlier, Gerard shot an African-American man at point-blank range. The conversation forced Jones to confront the racial subtext of his character, revealing the moral complexity behind Gerard's actions.
Now tell you what I want! I just want a car, man!
The helicopter chase with Jones wasn't shot with a stabilizer inside the aircraft. It was filmed by a cameraman literally strapped to the outside, dangling at dangerous heights, keeping the camera steady, risking death for a few seconds of footage. It's a stunt that modern insurance companies would never allow, captured because 1990s filmmaking had different rules for acceptable risk. Jordan, cast as Dr. Nichols, filmed scenes while terminally ill with brain cancer. He completed a few before being replaced, and Ford's beard had to be faked during reshoots. Jordan passed away just as the film became a massive hit, leaving a ghostly presence over the production.
I'm sorry, I'm in the middle of this speech. Ladies and gentlemen, my friend Richard Kimble doesn't feel well.
Jones disliked Gerard's "I don't bargain" speech after the hostage rescue. He rewrote it himself to sound like real human conversation. The scene became natural and believable, a rare victory for actor intuition over rigid screenwriting.
I'm Deputy United States Marshal Samuel Gerard. I'd like to talk to you.
I'll be with you in just a minute.
Okay. Newman?
Yes?
What are you doing? Well, think me up a cup of coffee and a chocolate donut with some of those little sprinkles on top. Where you going to Well, shit, Sheriff. I hate to see that happen, so I guess I'll take over your investigation.
Writer Jeb Stewart went to bed at 2 a.m. convinced he had failed to finish the story. At 2:05 a.m., inspiration struck. The film's iconic ending was fully formed. 5 minutes changed the entire movie. Producers read it in the morning and called it brilliant. Disagreement over Kimble's fate, death penalty, or life imprisonment led to 2 endings being filmed. Only one version made the final cut, but the alternate exists in Warner Brothers' vaults, a literal what-if version if the movie was created due to creative conflict.
Cool, where is that thing? See those hands, Doctor.
The script spent 5 years in development hell. Filming began before it was ever finished, and writer Jeb Stewart improvised scenes on set. They were literally inventing the film while shooting it, building the plane as they flew it. The full-size train cost $20,000, a gamble cheaper than miniatures. No rehearsals, one chance to get it right. The high-risk financial decision paid off with unforgettable action.
So I knew that the train would, as it came off the tracks at the end, would slope down and hit into this gully. It was probably about 30 feet away, 40 feet away. And we had one of the cameras there was a VistaVision.
Filming took just 73 days. Post-production involved 6 editors working simultaneously on Avid machines to meet Warner Brothers' sudden August 1993 release date. Editing while still shooting created the film's breathless pace.
We sent scouts out everywhere. We would just to find the perfect location. We looked in 5 states, actually, before we found it.
Part was finding a private railroad we could do it on. And we were lucky enough to do that.
It was an actual railroad. This was not miniatures. It was not trick photography.
The doctor whose wrongful conviction inspired the film lost his license and became a pro wrestler. His signature move? The mandible claw. Life after exoneration was almost more tragic than false accusation. While shadowing doctors, Ford met an eccentric doctor in a Chicago bar. This chance encounter became the model for Kimble's personality and apartment, which were faithfully recreated for filming.
Hey, Joe. How are you doing, kiddo?
Chester.
Yeah? Where's your mom, Pat?
Oh, no.
Is she home?
He's with my brother.
Your brother? They downstairs?
Oh.
Don't you worry. We'll get hold of her for you. What are you, a football player? Baseball player?
Ford argued that Renfro shouldn't survive his injuries, wanting realism. Filmmakers compromised. Ford and Jones drive away first, then Renfro appears alive after the scene. The tension highlights Ford's commitment to authenticity. Davis made 1,600 additional edits after the studio deemed the film perfect. Obsessive perfectionism turned a great thriller into a masterpiece.
And Roy Arbogast, who was our special effects supervisor, one day, I said, okay, we got this job to do, Roy. How are we going to do it? He said, we're going to make the best train crash ever seen on film. I said, that sounds good to me.
The aerial chase scene was cut 97 times to perfect pacing. Each edit refined tension, rhythm, and visual storytelling, creating one of cinema's most memorable action sequences.
All right, I want to know all routes in and out of that town. We're headed north on Route 13.
Michael Chapman replaced the fired DP just a week into production. Reluctant and clashing with the director, he still earned an Oscar nomination for his work.
Train crash. And that was achieved by actually crashing a train. And that turned out to be the best way to do it. We were in the mountains in North Carolina in the winter, awful cold, and there was a railroad which ran in the summer there as a sort of tourist railroad. It must once have had some industrial function, but now, and for many years, it had been simply a tourist railroad to take people to the Smoky Mountains or whatever the hell they are.
6 editors worked in parallel under Davis to assemble footage in record time. This unprecedented approach led to the most editors ever nominated for a single Oscar, 6. After filming, the destroyed train and bus were left in Dillsboro, North Carolina. Fans can visit the wreckage, a haunting monument to controlled destruction and one of Hollywood's most dangerous stunts. The Fugitive broke China's decades-long ban on American films. Audiences accustomed only to local cinema were blown away by Hollywood's spectacle, forever changing the Chinese film market. Andreas Kustelas, who played Sykes, avoided the original TV series as a kid to escape trauma. Decades later, he embodied that nightmare, terrifying a new generation while living out his own childhood fear. Multiple core plot points later appeared almost identically in Minority Report. Fugitive accused of murder, federal pursuit, fake ID, discover of a conspiracy, dramatic confrontation. Spielberg essentially followed The Fugitive's blueprint nearly a decade later. From chaotic stunts to last-minute rewrites, The Fugitive proves that risk, instinct, and pure creative madness can create timeless cinema. Every scene, every choice, and every accident helped turn a thriller into a legend. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more deep dives into cinema's greatest moments. Which fact shocked you the most? Tell me in the comments. I want to hear what hit you hardest. Keep watching, keep feeling, and never stop chasing the magic of cinema. I'll catch you in the next one.